Alright, hey everybody, my name's Fine Cherry. You could just call me Cherry though. And this is the start of my YouTube career. Well, quote-unquote career, but I more or less just wanted to make something because, well, let's just say my friends don't want me to talk about this, so you, on the other hand, you're kind of forced to. So, on that note, take back, relax, and listen to some of my amazing summaries and cool stuff about some comics. Basically, as you already heard, I'm gonna be doing some like stuff that I love, like comics, games, movies, shows, whatever. Like, I'm gonna be talking about all that stuff. Of course, maybe in the future I'll probably change things, but right now that's what we're gonna stick with. Celebrate my first episode, I'd like to talk about my first ever webtoon, like the one that started it all. My patient zero, one might say, which literally started my obsession with comics, unfortunately. For you, that is. Before we start, I do want to apologize in advance because I'm not the best when it comes to setting up microphones or editing or stuff like that. It is literally my first time, so sorry if this hurts your ears. You're gonna have to deal with it though. Anyways, this webtoon, in my opinion, is an underrated gem, so I might be a little biased because, like, it's my first one, because, like, who doesn't love their first thing ever? Like, I swear to God, I still have, like, a spot in my heart for Sword Art Online, even though it fucking sucks, because, you know, it's my first anime, so just an example of what you're getting into. To show my appreciation, I'll have some art that I did while talking about it, just kind of like have it in the background so you could like watch some fan art, but of course, spoiler alert, I'm not good at drawing, as you could probably tell from my PNG, so yeah. Anyways, we'll be talking about the first 5 episodes out of 10 free episodes because Webtoon, God, I hate you so much, Webtoon. Webtoon has added coins in like the past few years, which like obviously like good on them, we're paying creators, they deserve it, but like at the same time, I want to read Flow again! Anyways, I don't have any high expectations, this is my first video, but please let me know if you guys want to see more. I'll gladly review the next 5 free episodes or spend some coins to reread it. I would obviously love to do that. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's get right into it. Just as I might have forgotten to introduce this, or maybe I already forgot because my memory is like literally like a jellyfish. This webtoon is called Flow. Go read it right now and then come back. Please come back, please. Anyways, a webtoon that I literally finished when I started, like, oh my gosh. It finished when I started reading it. So, oh gosh, I'm really old. Don't look at that. Anyways, to get started, let's just read the summary of the webtoon, which, by the way, it literally is just like it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So basically, for the 104 chapters, you'll explore a fantasy comic about a boy's destiny that starts to change as he receives a gift from his guardian god. Pretty interesting, huh? Yeah, basically there's gonna be some confusing terms, but don't worry, you'll definitely get used to it, you'll definitely understand it, so I will definitely help you through it. If nothing makes sense, please let me know in the comments, and I will definitely clarify some things for you if you need it. Obviously, let's go into this prologue, because the prologue does one of my favorite things, which is basically an introduction of the main characters, the settings, and their motivations. And this is what hooks you in, and trust me, it will, because it doesn't throw you right into the universe, rather gets you prepared for what's up ahead and leaves things open that makes you want more. I want more, you know? Like, let's cook. Basically, it starts with an introduction of the main character and the world that we're in. So basically, to put it simply, everyone has a god, and they're furries. In all seriousness, basically, it's if spirit animals were a thing and they could grant you one wish within their powers. Gods have powers based on how they're worshipped, like how popular they are, and how much respect they have. Yeah, a good example would be like, later they kind of explain this, but basically in ancient Egypt, when a cat was seen as a god, if your god was a cat, you could get any wish granted, which could range from literally like saving the world, probably something time related, like stuff like that. Like, you could literally probably grant anything. The only issue is your god disappears after you make your wish, and you have to pay back whatever you have paid for that wish. So like, for example, one of the characters that you'll meet, who, this is not a spoiler by the way, this is literally like told from chapter 1. There's this girl who has the blue dragon, which is basically one of the most popular, most famous and respected gods. There's only one child because they're the most famous, because the more famous your god is, the less children they have, and yes, that is what they call it, children. Don't judge me. And basically, her wish is that she can see into the future. However, because she can see into the future, she loses a part of her body. So let's say she wants to look into the future like in 5 seconds, that would cost her an eye. That if she wants to go for like years in the future, that'll cost her a leg, stuff like that. So keep that in mind, that like whatever you wish for, you have to pay back. But anyways, since we were talking about famous gods, let's talk about the less popular ones, like the cat now. Even though, like, yeah, cats are like, oh my gosh, I have a pet cat, like they're not really like respected as gods like they were in ancient Egypt. So their powers, like the main character who is a cat child, he cannot wish for a lot of things. Like, if anything, I think he can only wish for like super reflexes and cat ears. He can literally just become a furry, but he doesn't want to, so we'll cover that later. But basically, because of that, he cannot make that many wishes, which also means that his price is pretty low. I don't really know if they cover it or not, what his price would be, but basically just trust me, it's definitely not like super huge. Like, he's not gonna lose a limb for getting cat ears. But you kind of see where I'm getting at. You get introduced to more characters, who basically, this is Chicken Boy, Mouse Boy, god I hate Mouse Boy so much, Snake Boy, Tiger Girl, and Dragon Boy. He's showing off hints as to what they wished for, and also, yeah, I just hate this guy. I gotta repeat myself. I hate him. I hate him so much, and you can't, you know? Basically, the prologue ends with an ominous message that whatever you wish for, well, you'll have to pay with something of equivalent value, which I've already told you earlier, but I just want to point out that is important. So trust me, it'll get crazy. Like, holy moly, dude, there's some crazy price giving. Like, I don't want to spoil anything more than I've already spoiled, but basically, the point where the most characters, you like regret their own wishes. So trust me, it'll get crazy. Anyways, with that, let's start into the first chapter, guys. So with the first chapter, we go more into depth with the setting, and with Catboy, who I know his name is like Iring, but I'm just gonna call him Catboy, and I'm gonna call everybody by their gods because it just makes things a lot easier. But anyways, he has 2 childhood friends, which is the Dragon Boy, whom we mentioned earlier, and Pigeon Girl, who we have not mentioned earlier. Basically, as you could guess, when you have a friend with a group of 2 boys and 1 girl, it's a love triangle, it's a love triangle, it's a love... Yeah, it's not like a love triangle like, oh my gosh, yay, yay! No, it's a love triangle where like both the boys like the girl and the girl likes Dragon Boy. I know, it's kind of like a love arrow, but we call those love triangles in this day and age, so like, you know. We also get introduced into the social hierarchy of this webtoon. Wow, I kind of sound like I do when I write an essay for humanities. Anyways, as you can probably guess, gods with more power have less children, which I have already, you know, mentioned. And the most powerful god would have 1 child, while the weakest god would be the most common with multiple children, basically like the sparrow or pigeon. Like, I think those are like some of the most common ones. Basically, if you are children of fairy gods, you get treated like royalty. Royalty being you go to school. I know, crazy stuff. Who knew the school was a privilege like that? But yeah, anyways, if you're a weak god, you basically graduate in middle school and join the workforce early, while everybody else who is a stronger god goes to high school and learns how to control their god, which is kind of cool because like you think that like gods disappear and their wishes do, but like it turns out that you can literally wish again. You can literally take the power of your god without them being there. You can literally have powers. Like, there's some crazy stuff, like you get elements related to their god, like tiger's fire, like that's pretty cool. And like dragon's water, I think that's also pretty cool. Like, there's like elements related to gods, and I think that's like the sickest thing ever. And basically going into the actual, you know, comic, Catboy is known to run away from his job multiple times, which, me too, buddy. Me too. And due to his jealousy of his best friend being able to go to school, he kind of like, you know, he just like, he wants to go to school, but like at the same time he's kind of already accepted it because like he's just like, you know, I have no intention of making a wish. Like he hasn't wished in like 10 years because like what's the point of wishing if you can't wish for anything that good, which honestly I can kind of respect a little bit. We also get introduced to students such as Dog Boy who bully weaker gods. Like basically this guy is quite literally the definition of royalty. He literally beats up a child for brushy shoulders with him because he's weak. Who weighs the poor with me, guys? Am I right? But yeah, anyways, it's kind of funny because like when this guy gets introduced, Catboy literally like saves the child, which of course why wouldn't he, but he's also weak, so like he's literally just like that meme with like the crab on the alligator, just like, yo, you want to fight me, buddy? And then like his best friend's just in the corner like, yo, you want to fight it, bro? It's just like I love this guy so much. It's just so funny. And it's also revealed that the Dragon Boy is literally a the vice president of his high school, and as you could probably guess, if you're a part of the student council of the high school, you're like one of the best, like the most powerful gods out of the most powerful gods. So he's the vice president, which literally implies that he's the second most powerful person in school, and of course who would like not be afraid of that? Yeah, keep that in mind for later because that will actually be important like the further you read into it, as well as like honestly like later on, like I'm gonna explain later. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's just go straight into the next chapter. So we're into chapter 2. Basically, to give you guys context, we are into another chapter that is very lore heavy. Yes, a lot of these chapters are lore heavy, but trust me, it's kind of helpful when you're trying to make a summary without spoiling anything. So just hang in with me, guys. We love lore in this channel. We love lore. Basically each country has more powerful beings, so America, for example, because #1 baby America, we would obviously be the bald eagle. Like if there was a bald eagle, they'd be #1, guys, #1. But let's say if you're in Canada, the eagle would not be #1. If anything, it would be like a moose, maybe maple syrup, meese, like whatever you guys do over there. Sorry guys, I'm too American. But yeah. This takes place in China. Of course, the tiger is way up there. I mean, come on. Chinese dragons, same with the animal zodiacs. Like, I think there's like a mouse, snake, monkey in there. Like, I don't know. Sorry, zodiac lovers, but like, I'm kind of too preoccupied with this webtoon right now to look it up. And the most powerful gods, which, by the way, are my favorite. Like, I love any webtoon that has them. Maybe I'm biased, but like, oh my gosh, I love these guys so much. I love the constellations. The 4 constellation animals that if you probably don't already know, it's basically like Chinese mythology, and it's so cool. I love it so much. But basically, it's like the white tiger, the azure dragon, which we call blue dragon for this episode because that's what they call it in Flow. The vermilion bird, which we call the phoenix in this webtoon, and black tortoise, which I think is they call the black turtle in this webtoon. But honestly, these are so sick. And basically like, you know, like they're like gods are like related mainly to time, which is like really cool. I mean, like, sure, like I don't want to spoil anything, obviously. I've already like told you about the blue dragon, which basically can see into the future, and just like know that like all the other ones are kind of like related to something to that like nobody else can touch this stuff except the constellation gods. I think that's so cool. There's only one and they only rule like a part of the country, and I think that's also really sick. I kind of forgot, but I think it's like White Tiger of the West, Blue Dragon of the East, something like that. I don't really remember. I'm sorry, guys. I know I just said I love this lore, but like I kind of forgot. Memory of a jellyfish, if you guys remember. But anyways, going into the actual, you know, comic. Basically, we get more lore that even though Catboy hasn't wished for 10 years, his animal god still manifests and tells him to make a wish. Because like he literally can't leave until he wishes, and we also get more information. This is his 18th birthday, which is actually important, so keep that in mind. This is actually kind of like a short chapter because it's mainly just talking about lore as well as just like setting us up for the next chapter, because we actually end this chapter with a really cool plot twist, which is literally just him running into himself. But enough with that, let's get on to the next chapter so we don't have this cliffhanger for any longer. So starting off chapter 3 with a big guy, with a big one, as anybody would do when they run into like literally themselves, he brushes it off and is just like, either a twin brother like twice removed or something, or a doppelganger. And you know what? Me too. I've met a fair share of doppelgangers myself. Literally the other day, someone was like, "Yo, I know exactly who you are. Never met that guy in my life. He did not know." Anyways, he goes to work, and it turns out that, like, you know, Pigeon Girl is daydreaming about confessing to Dragon Boy, which, like, genuinely poor Catboy. I mean, literally, if you know this lore, Catboy literally protects her with his life despite being so weak, and literally like wants her to be happy. Like, if he got an invitation to high school, he would give it to her because like he knows that he does not want that more than she does. And like like, sure, kind of simpy, but like, dude, he's like amazing. Like I would date him if I were her. Like, so why does she like the Dragon Boy? Why does she like guys, the Dragon Boy does not protect her like he does. The Dragon Boy, like, is he hot? Like, his personality's not that good. And like, honestly, I'm not seeing the appeal. I'm not seeing the appeal. Sorry, any Dragon Boy lovers out there, but like, I feel like this is kind of like a Twilight scenario. Like, are you team Jake or team Edward? Like, are you team Dragon Boy or team Catboy? I'm currently team Catboy. Like, this guy literally sacrifices himself for her. You know, that's not the point. Anyways, she's daydreaming about this boy, and she obviously believes that, like, you know, Catboy does not care. So she's just like, yo, I know it's your birthday. She actually doesn't know that it's his birthday, but just, you know, just in case, like, I know it's your birthday, I know you're not working today, but like, take over my shift so I can confess to a boy. And it's just like, dude, it's my birthday, I don't want to work today. It's like, I'm gonna confess to this boy. So anyways, long story short, he takes over her shift so she could go confess to a boy, because apparently her love cannot wait for her to finish her shift, or just, like, you know, wait for him to come in, because he literally does next chapter, but we're not getting into that right now. Literally that song, I do good girls like bad boys. Who knows, man? Who knows? Anyways, since Love can't wait for a 9 to 5, Catboy gets a delivery, and for the first time of his life actually does his job and goes to deliver. I know, it's crazy, right? Yeah, he regrets it immediately. Classic, Butterfingers, classic Butterfingers. Anyways, he runs into Dog Boy and his bully friend Bull Man. Yeah, Bull Man, who, as you'd expect, would happen when the crab is separated from the alligator and quite literally becomes crippled. I mean, like, yo. Yeah, so he loses his eyes and becomes paralyzed to where, like, he can't walk anymore, and to put salt in the wound, his crush and best friend start dating and quite literally brag about it to him in tears while apologizing for getting his birthday. Like, I'm sorry I forgot your birthday and I gave you my shift and literally got you crippled, but a better news I got with this boy. Hold up. This poor man, his crush, like, you know, Friends of the year, am I right? Yeah. As someone who, you know, hates being a discount Helen Keller, he agrees to his cat god's request, that is literally to turn back time, because cats are known for turning back time, of course, which he takes advantage of. And, you know, to be fair, I probably would too if my cat god was like, yo, I can make you turn back time, and it's just like, can you really? Just like, you know? But this is also where the cat reveals himself to literally the blind Catboy, that he's actually the white tiger. I know, he's one of the 4 constellation gods. He's like literally the most powerful god in disguise to literally trick himself. Like, basically, the more stronger god is, like, the more they disguise themselves, because they don't want you to make powerful wishes, but rather trick you into wishing what they want you to wish. Which literally what happened. The white tiger literally disguised himself for a cat for 10 years just to trick this guy into turning back time once. That's a real dedication right there. Yeah, since he's blind, he still thinks he would be a cat, but for us readers who are literally were told this since day one, he's literally the white tiger. So, like, we know, like, oh, he's powerful, but he doesn't know it yet. But, yeah, since cats could turn back time, and even though he knows constellation gods are the only ones that can turn back time, yeah, we're just going on to the next chapter with So yeah, starting off chapter 4 strong. If you remember, his 18th birthday was definitely very important, and no, he's not role-playing as his doppelganger this time. He's actually role-playing as himself. Like, he's basically starting the day over. So he basically is like, yo, I'm seeing the same things, I'm like totally safe, I know where my hat is, I've already like been wished happy birthday by my grandpa. Like, he's literally like having a big sense of deja vu, and like I think that's kind of cool. But this time he refuses to take Pigeon Friend's, you know, love escapades suggestion and decide like, nah, screw your love, you could wait until after your shift. And he decides to just like chill around, and like, you know, you never know when a boy may come to after you at your workplace, so like, let's just like protect my crush and start, you know, why not? So basically he's just gonna protect her, and you know, she'll start dating someone literally the same day, so like, who cares? But yeah, also coincidentally, Dragon Boy comes inside, which, as I said earlier, kind of insinuates that she literally could have just stayed there and could have confessed to him, or like, you know, she was literally probably confessing to him right outside the door, because like, this guy came in so fast. Basically, like, yeah, is it kind of showing that I don't like this girl? You know, like, yeah, he comes in with like my favorite Tiger yandere girl. Like, I love this girl so much. I'm gonna be drawing her with Catboy like later, so like, yes. But like, she literally like immediately like dissuades Pigeon Girl from confessing, because like, oh my god, she's so much cuter than me, he'll never say yes. Which, like, honestly, facts. If I were him, I would go after Tiger Girl. But actually I wouldn't, because she deserves the Catboy. Sue me! But basically, to heal her random broken heart, she goes on that same delivery that the crippled Catboy went on, and but like, weirdly enough, when he like says like don't go, she's just like, it's on the port and not at the mountains where he got crippled. So he's just like, yo, that's kind of weird, because I went to the mountains, why are you going to the port? And she's just like, I was always going to the port. And so yeah, he just lets her go because like, she's probably safe. And while that's going on, we cut back into where the yandere girl and Dragon Boy are talking, and they're basically just like talking about like how he gave up the first position, the president role, to her, insinuating that she's the strongest in the high school, like #1, and she, in return for something, something. But like every posh student, she hates Catboy immediately because like, oh my god, he's poor, it is like zodiac signs, so like, this guy is not compatible. So yeah, basically she literally tries to burn him alive, and you know, her friends like the leopard, cheetah, dude, honestly, they make a joke about this so many times that honestly I kind of forgot what he is, and Black Panther stopped her from quite literally burning him alive. And yeah, basically something that classic Flo likes to do, and trust me, this will happen a lot, is while this whole like joke stuff is happening, and yeah, things get interrupted by a literal tsunami. Yeah, you heard me correct, a tsunami comes in here, like, what? Well, anyways, that's the cliffhanger of the chapter. Coming up on our last chapter, we basically pick up where we left off, which is on the roof to escape the flood, and questioning like the readers what just happened, because like, I'm also just wondering what happened. Like, sorry guys, I don't live in North Carolina, I don't understand this reference. Anyways, basically they're just like talking when they realize that, oh shoot, Pigeon Girl's at the port, you know, the beach where like water comes from, where, you know, a tsunami will come from. We gotta go save her, because that's what I would also do if there was a ongoing flood and tsunami happening, because I could definitely leave the roof of my building. But again, I guess I just don't understand because I've never experienced this. But Catboy also finds it weird that like, literally this tsunami did not happen when he time traveled. Like, so what's going on? Yeah, so they literally encounter, they go after Pigeon Girl, and they encounter a circle? I didn't know shapes also included, I didn't know shapes were included in like the zodiac animals. You know, my favorite spirit animal is my circle. But yeah, anyways, we get a flashback for the Dragon Boy immediately when he encounters this thing, where like, basically remembers that his death is foretold by that circle. Yeah, this dragon is gonna get outclassed by a circle. But yeah, anyways, he must choose between his life and Pigeon Girl. I mean, literally, again, why did she choose him? Because he's literally choosing to save his life over her. Like, I'm not gonna be that guy, like, you save yourself if I love you or stuff like that, but like, dog, you love this guy who will literally turn his back on you because some fortune teller told him he's gonna die if he saves you? Like, what happened to take a bullet, man? What happened to take a bullet? Chivalry is dead. After realizing the Pigeon Girl literally got eaten alive by that thing, yeah, he still leaves her to die. But at least Catboy, as always, goes after her because he literally does not care if he dies. He wants to save her life. That's how much he loves her. But anyways, other than her strange taste in guys, yeah, she's like probably like, they already like kind of like killed her, like, so they're just like, oh my gosh, she's dead. And even though Catboy is told that, he still decides to go after her and he falls to his death. And that's literally where the chapter ends. So joke's on you guys. You guys get cliffhangers. Guess you'll have to actually read it or leave a like on this video to get more like I please you guys. Anyways, yeah, with that on the notes, whatever I just said, on to the summary and the fan art. Let's go. In summary, I know I'm making like a lot of jokes about this and stuff, about the comic being bad, but like, dude, I love this webtoon so much. Like, genuinely, I feel like even after rereading it, it still holds up. Sure, there are like a few arcs where like it's just like a little boring and like maybe I want to skip it, or maybe it just has me drop my reread, but like at the same time, I feel like there's not a single arc that isn't so boring that reading it for the first time you're just like, yo, when is this over? I feel like it always has you on the edge of your seat, and that's just so cool. And I feel like, yes, the art sometimes can be a little rocky. However, I have to commend the art, like the artist. Like, as an artist myself, I find myself not wanting to leave my comfort zone and just like sticking to what I know. However, it's definitely clear that like the parts that are rocky, like the artist literally like went above and beyond to get to like that pose, get that facial expression, stuff like that. They're like, yes, it might look rocky, however, at least they tried. They were adventurous. They left their comfort zone, and I have to give them credit for that. That is awesome. And just like, I think it's just, the story is just so unique, and it's just really good. Like, genuinely, it is a roller coaster of emotions. Like, trust me with this. You have to read it because you definitely can't go back after reading it. And honestly, I feel like something that a lot of artists struggle with is like making sure that everything makes sense. Like, you could follow along fight scenes, follow along dialogue, stuff like that, know the lore, stuff like literally stuff like that. And I feel like they do such a good job in Flow. Like, I've never been so confused over a fight scene, so confused over lore. Like, they explain it perfectly well where I can understand it, and I think that's so nice. Like, it's not busy with stuff, it's not too empty. Like, they literally do so good. And I also have to note that like the characters are so unique, and like you can literally tell from like their facial expressions or like their looks like what kind of god they are. Like, for example, Tiger Girl has red hair because tigers are red, and or orange, but like sue me. And also Catboy has like cat face like on all the time, which is kind of funny to like kind of signify that he's a cat even when he realizes that he's the white tiger. It's so funny. And also just like his hair is literally a whiter red, kind of, or like a whiter orange, which is kind of like a white tiger. Definitely not like fully white like a white tiger, but it shows some kind of connection, and I think that's so cool. There's also gonna be a ton of plot twists. Like, trust me, you will literally never guess a lot of things that happen. You won't even guess the ending because like, yo, that is so how did they think of that? How were they able to go through all that and just like not reveal it? Because like rereading it, I like knowing what's gonna happen, I thought I could like guess it, but like even then, like there's no like subtle hints, there's like nothing. Like, it's like perfect in ways of plot twists, like where it doesn't feel like they forced it in and it doesn't feel like they spoiled it. It's so cool. I don't want to spoil any of it, but it's just awesome. And obviously no spoilers for this other part either, but basically another thing that I love is that they don't have main character syndrome in this. Like, they literally will kill off as many main characters as they wanted to. Like, literally everybody could be dead, and like I would not be shocked because they literally just like, unlike some stuff like Sword Art Online, they're not gonna like have the main character be so close to death, but then like they survive because they have main character powers. Like, no, they literally will, like, they take a realistic approach. They're just like, yo, I'm gonna kill this guy. And it's just like, yo, okay. And just like, they treat it so lightly. And I honestly, I find it awesome. Like, they don't prioritize a character over the others. It's just, it's so cool. And I hate that whole main character can't die thing, but just the fact that they, like, don't do that at all, it just gives a lot of props from me, honestly. I appreciate it a lot. And also, this is a little biased, but I am a sucker for romance, and I just love the romance in this webtoon a lot. As you can see, I'm drawing Catboy and Tiger Girl, and I just love their dynamic, how she's like the bully and he's the bullied, and just like, it never went too far, like her, like, making fun of him or trying to kill him, like, it never went too far. And actually, it's just awesome to see their development, because of course romance is not a genre of this webtoon, so you won't be able to like focus on it that much, which honestly I kind of like appreciate, that it's not like a main focus, but rather like develops over time and is like hinted towards. But just the fact that they like go from like hating each other to literally being their best friends, they can only trust each other, and honestly I just love that a lot. Just like, she could tell him her secrets, he could tell her his, and just like knowing that there's someone there for you. Like, there's literally a point where like he runs away from everybody with her because she's the only one that he can trust. And I think that's awesome. Just having a dynamic like that where like there's undivided trust, yet there's still some kinds of like jokes in there here and there, just like I hate you, but like in a good way, you know? And just like I love it. They literally rely on each other for happiness and forgiveness for their past, and I love it. Overall, I think you guys really should read this if you're wanting to experience something that mixes fantasy and mystery with like so many unexpected plot twists and just storylines. So please give it a read, or like, hell, if you guys just want to talk about it more, just like send me a comment or something. I would love to discuss this with you. Like, guys, this is awesome. Whoa, okay, hold up. Post editing chair here. I know I fixed my microphone. It sounds so much better, so get ready for future updates. But anyways, that's not why I'm here. What I'm here for is because my original outro sucked a lot, so I'm making a new one. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and if you didn't, make sure to leave a comment below about what I could do better. Leave a like, subscribe, dislike, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna start doing better from now on, but basically we're gonna try some new things around here. If you want to see more of my content, I do plan on streaming. I got a Twitch set up and everything. I'm thinking, since it's right around the corner, my first stream will be Poppy Playtime Chapter 4. I love the third game, and I might even talk about it. So if you want to go in and have like a quick just like hang out, then feel free to come and hang out. With that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.